Universe. It's Caner Tip Tuesday. Today, it's a fun topic. It's about canes, and our caners love canes. We're busting 3 myths on self-defense canes, so stick around. And as always, a warm welcome. Do this now early before we both forget. If you love the content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so that you don't miss any future great awesomeness that we're going to be sharing with you. And immediately, we have free resources. The most important one by far, you want to avail yourself of the no-cost Cane Clarity Call. You do that by texting the letter CCC to the number on the screen, and in less than 24 hours, we will be on a phone call with you discussing everything, not just about canes, more importantly, cane training, right, and how you can make it happen wherever you are, enjoyably, from the comfort of anywhere in the world, effectively and efficiently. And you're going to walk out of there with all the information you need. It's going to save you tons of time, funds, and frustration. So go ahead and do that. And free resources in terms of Facebook groups, they're now open to the public for ACSD. Read the description, request entry. They will let you right in. Let's jump right into this. We get calls all the time talking about canes and features on canes for self-protection, and say, well, I want, Jose, let me have that crook right there. I want a crook, so that we're on the same page. This is the horn, this is the crook, the inside part. Say, I want a crook on that cane. I need it nice and wide so that in a self-defense situation, I can go ahead, Jose, if you will, I can put that, just you, no cane. I can put that around somebody's neck. Well, listen to me. You don't want this fitting comfortably under the bad guy, on the bad guy's neck. Okay, you don't want that. The purpose of the crook, you're not going to get this, and in an actual application, do this and he's going to flip. It doesn't work that way. Yes, there are applications here that work this way when you know what you're doing that can crank the neck, but you don't want this to fit comfortably under on anyone's neck, unless this here, by the way, is an old school. This is what we called back in the day an instructor's crook. Why? Because it's designed for the opposite, so that it fits comfortably and I don't hurt, I don't rake, rip, tear into. Look at it. Look at the difference in something like this. And this is on a spinner, right? This is on an ACSD spinner. Now, this is designed so that, first of all, the way proper use of this, I'm not going to get into it now, but you're going to hit, you're going to connect, and then when you pull, you snag. See how it snags? This, right, rips and tears. So you don't want this to be super wide for the purpose of it fitting comfortably here if what you want it for is self-protection. That is a myth. The other thing is my paws are too big and I need something really big and wide so that I can actually spin it, because when I use something, the cane I received, right, from our friends over at Cane Masters that make the finest wooden canes in the world, and you say, well, the crook, it's too tight because when I do this, it bites me. That's called biting. It bites you here. And that's because you haven't done it enough to where the nerve system has figured out the proper placing. When I hear that, rarely is it that your hand is too big for the cane. It's simply the placement here. Your brain, you haven't done this enough. Your neuromuscular system hasn't figured it out yet, so that you can do it without getting bit. So as you do it with time, this gets better, and that is part of your kinesthetic training. Okay, so that's myth number 1: is you don't want that extra wide crook unless you're doing it for the purpose of not injuring your training partner, and that's a good reason to have it. The second one of these is that you need a really heavy cane. Again, I'll go with this because this is about an inch or bigger than it. You need a real heavy cane, because what I don't want is pick up another cane. So what you don't want is, for instance, I want that when he comes at me, I want this cane I want to be able to do this so it doesn't break. Well, actually, if you're trained, you shouldn't be putting your stress under that much duress. You should be able to move in such a way where you minimize right? Come from the other side. Sorry about that. You're okay. You minimize the impact on your cane, and you're maximizing, right? See, I'm going towards the hand. I'm to the inside, moving in. And what you're doing is you're striking. So when he comes over the top, you're out of the way. It's not my cane in there. My cane is actually used to go ahead and strike the incoming limb, because if you take out the limb, you win. So this whole idea that because the cane is bigger, thicker, yes, I, Joe Robina, responsible for the whole idea of training with the heavier canes back in the day, right? That's Robina heavies. Why? Because still to this day, if you do train with a heavy cane and then you pick up the lighter cane that's going to be your carry, it's going to seem, it is lighter to you because you're used to training like this. Now there's a time and a place for that. But for self-protection, if you're not trained, something this heavy can get in the way because you're not ready for something like that. And that's where you're going to build to that progressively. The other thing is you need to watch out for overuse injuries. So it's good to train with something heavier at time, but also lighter. But this whole idea that my cane needs to be, 3 inches thick because when he comes here, I want to be able to do this, so that you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that if you're trained. Instead, you want the ability to do something like this and then get in here and strike or power shot that limb out of the way. And then the last one, the third myth that we want to take a look at is we get questions. I say, I'm cautious about a metal cane because won't get it past security. That's nonsense, right? We've been doing that, testing it, taking it through security. It's a medical device, and the number one thing, whether it be metal, whether it's wood, and this is really just a matter of preference. Obviously, I'm biased, and I believe, and I look at you straight in the face, and I tell you that the Raven is the finest metal cane on the planet. Why? It was designed by a caner for caners. That's why. It's not theory. It's functional, right? And so you're still going to be able to get it through security. You're not hiding a weapon in here. It's hollow tubing on the inside. All the things that, the advantage that you're never going to have to oil this. It's not going to crack. It'll bend under duress. But if you're trained, you're still going to be effective if you're using our methods with it. But it really, whether you're using wood or metal, is a matter of preference for the caner. The True Blue caner is going to have both. It's like, it's if you're a gun aficionado, right? You're going to have more than one. I don't golf, but I hear that it's the same with golf clubs. You're never just going to have one. And canes, you're never just going to own one. But this whole idea that, oh no, metal, I'm concerned. No, rest easy with it and order a Raven confidently, knowing that that's not the issue. How you handle yourself with any tool is what raises red flags or attention. It's a mobility device. The tip goes on the floor and you walk. You don't hang around with this thing, doing this or, standing on the line and practicing your handling there because you're being mindless, because these things happen. So either reverse grip or a standard grip, and you're not going to have any issues with it. So I hope that answers some of the questions that we get regarding canes and their use for self-protection. There are other myths as well, but those are 3 of the main ones. Tell us what you think, but if you have any questions, just reach out. Better yet, schedule one. The reason that we have you text the letter CCC and schedule your call is so that you have our undivided attention. So do schedule CCC to the number on the screen, and let's get on a call and find out what's important to you and how we can serve you best. I'm Joe Robina for American Cane Self-Defense. Thanks for watching. Keep caning.